Here's this box. It's an Undercover Jig from Wolfcraft. Okay, and it is for joining wood pieces, furniture for example. And we have a few drawings here. So you have this greenish plastic thing which is clamped onto this piece of wood, and it's going to drill a hole into this one and into that wood, and using a long bit you will have to insert a screw from the left to the right, so it will join this wood with that one using a screw. Okay, and if you want you can cover those holes with another piece of wood which is provided here. So that's the object itself. It has a few screws, the long bits, and the drill bit is there. That's the box itself. It has a nice handle. It's rubberized, and that's the back. So we have the main part which allows us to create the holes. This portion is metallic. It has a button which can be pressed, and you can move this top portion to the left or to the right according to the thickness of your wood. So for example that dimension. So if your wood is thicker, wider, then you have to move this top gray portion, you have to move it to the right. You have an imbus key. That imbus key is required to adjust the limiter, which is here, that small one, so that you won't drill from the inside too much to the outside. You have to use a long drill bit because the distance is pretty large. This portion of the drill has to have space and it has to go till here. The drill bit is a bit special. It has a larger diameter and a smaller diameter. It has to drill a smaller hole for this portion of the screw and a larger one for the head of the screw. Let's open it. It looks like this. It has a plastic case, and under that we have the manual in different languages. It has some pictures. The pictures are pretty dark. They are not too easily visible, and the guarantee. So that's inside the box. This is empty under. So we have the main element. We have the large bits. It's full of oil. This is PZ2, as it's mentioned here. PZ2. This tip. It's hexagonal on the other end. PZ2 is mentioned there also. Wolfcraft. We have the special drill bit. Wolfcraft HSS Germany. That's the tip. It has two diameters. Just some normal screws, wood screws, in 4 different lengths. You need longer screws for thicker woods, but if they are too long then they can come out of on the other end. You have this imbus key, hexagonal, for adjusting this ring. You have to fix this one onto that, like so, and rotate it with the imbus so that the drill will stop at a certain depth and it will not go forward and make a hole through all of your wood. So that's the limiter, depth limiter, and a few pieces of wood to cover the holes. So you can glue these pieces into those holes. Okay, and this is the main part. It looks like this. It has dimensions for the thickness of the wood. It has this button. You can press that down and that pushes out that portion. When you push it down you can slide it forward and it locks into different depths. This portion is metal, it's not plastic. You have some centimeters here. You can rotate this end so that you can measure the thickness of your wood from this corner. So the thicker portion of the drill should stop at a certain depth according to those numbers. These are the images of the manual. They are pretty dark. This tip, which is smaller, is not for the screw itself. That hole was made by this small portion of the drill and it is pretty large. You cannot introduce the screw there. So do you really need a clamp, or you can use your own hand and push it down. Well, you can use your hand also, you can leave your entire body weight there, but you have to use large RPM and you have to push it really slowly, otherwise it will move your hand. So the clamp is not totally necessary but highly advised. So by adjusting the ring to a distance so that the tip, this one, is here at this level, if you place it so that it's in one line here, then drill a hole, so it's at 12. Then you can use this second screw, not the first but the second. Introduce the screw there, like so, and that will look something like this. So it's not exiting on the right side and it's not exiting on the bottom side either. And the drill bit's large portion is above the number 12. So that would be the result. And of course I drilled only this wood, not that one also, and that much of the drill bit exited. If this was mounted onto that one, then a hole should be created around here. That's from the previous drilling, from this one. So if you want your screw to grab in the second piece of wood as much as possible, then do not create even a small hole either, but set up your drill bit so that the tip will not go past this line. So it should be something like that, because now it exits out and thus it will create a small hole, smaller than that one. So what is beyond this line outside, that goes into that. I inserted just one screw here. Let's see how strong this is. Of course I can move the left side, but let's see, can I break it or not? It breaks easily. So very small portion till my finger, that much is holding one piece to the other. The screw won't exit. These screws don't have thread on this side, so they are not grabbing here, so I can't remove it now. So let's say I want to join this wood with this wood, and I have to drill. So that's the setup. I'm using 2 clamps to hold it. So I have to drill through it, and the small diameter of the drill bit is creating the hole for the screw itself, and the larger one is creating the hole for the drill bit plus the head of the screw. But if the screw will be somewhere there, then look how tiny of a portion here on the left side is holding the two materials together. So only a tiny triangle here is holding this wood to that wood. So if this wood is thin, then it enters only to the corner and it can break easily. Of course, if you set this black one more to the right, then it creates another problem. Now I exaggerated and I moved it to 27 before it was at the first one. Okay, now if you drill a hole using this one, since the drill bit is too far away, then the screw will go somewhere here, so it will not even enter into this material. It will exit at the corner, so you have to go closer. Plus, if the drill bit, because of this one, is stopping at this distance, then from here to there is not even a hole where the screw to go through. It has to push itself into this one. It can break your material also. Plus, in this case, it's not even entering to that one, because it will exit somewhere there. And this is what happens if you put this ring too much to the left, so you stop it from entering too deep into this piece. Then the hole is not deep enough like that one, but it's shallow and half of the screw is out. It cannot support itself onto this side, so it comes outside a little bit. It bends and it created a hump here. But at least it's holding the two pieces together. It sticks out as it's visible. Now let's see, can we break this one? that was even easier. So that's the quantity of material that was holding the two pieces together. The screw should enter more towards the center, not the lower part, not the top part either. Now I move this ring more to the left, and that's the result of that one. So nothing will hold this material to that one because it's totally opened. You cannot insert the screw there.